I guess it means we're good to start. Black waterfall, which you know what that means. We need to get a black canvas going, baby. And once again, I didn't do as good of a job of getting the screenshot for this one, because once again, we have a tall painting, and I had to take like 2 screenshots, like just mesh them together, and I couldn't get them to line up perfectly. I think because like the camera, as it's panning down, it was like shaking a bit, so I don't know if it like, I don't know, something fucked up, but it's good enough. It does the job. We have a whole picture, so we got that going for us. But the camera, when it was panning down like in the credits, it was mad shaky. I was surprised. I was like, what the fuck? Oh right, I need to rotate the canvas, of course. And by the canvas, I mean the capture card. I want to do counterclockwise, yeah. Wait, whoops. I should have like a separate source that's for like, this is what I'm doing a sideways painting, and this is what I'm doing a regular painting. That would be like the most logical decision to have just 2 separate sources, but I don't have it set up that way. Ad break, Helotus. God, I just love ad breaks, honestly. It's me, I'm the ad break. Alright, let's hit some... The Mario Paint ROM hack made to vertical mode. That would go crazy. That would actually be insane if there was. If there was a ROM hack that had a function like that. I was originally gonna ask you if you want to do a rando arma and not do Mario Paint today, but then I was like, I should just do it, I guess. Like, fuck it, right? Get the Mario Paint going. I think it helped once this tea hit. I think that kind of like got the vibes going. Because I've had a cup and a half of tea, almost 2 cups of tea so far. So we're kind of cooking right now, actually. We kind of got a vibe going. The vibes have been enabled. But it's good that I'm just doing the damn thing now, and instead of putting it off and not doing it. Yeah, I'd probably be down tomorrow. I'm probably down for such a thing. You know, there's like this person who does like Lethal Company videos on YouTube that I've just been like watching randomly on YouTube. It was partially just because he's like chill to listen to, and I was like, all right, yeah, sure, you know, I'll vibe to your videos. And this dude was mentioning how like at like the job he used to work, I guess before going full time on YouTube, he would have like, it was like 10, 11-hour shifts or something, and then he would, you know, have like the hour or 2 hours of commuting or something like that, and then he would like get home and like record videos and edit, and then like nap for like a couple of hours, and then just rinse repeat that. And I'm like, damn, that's wild. Also, morning G. Yeah, so my dumbass today, I woke up at like 10:30-ish. When did I message? Cause I think I messaged you, Armor, when I like, got up today. Yeah, it was like 11, yeah. So around then, I got up at a good time, but then I was just so comfortable in bed. I just like I was actively way too comfortable. So I then decided to just lay in bed, and I was in bed till like, I think 3 p.m. or something like that, which was pretty good. How do you stop doing that? I need help. Like, I don't know how to like just get up from bed. Apparently, I'm too bad at getting up from bed. It's so hard. It was kind of like, it's been kind of gloomy today. It's been like really cloudy. Make bed less comfortable. Yeah, let me sleep on the guest room bed. I actually don't know how comfortable it is. Like, I've never slept on that bed before. But like, I know like Fig has never complained about it, and you were fine. See, that's the thing. If there's like if there's like something I have to do, like friends are coming by or something or whatever, like that's good. But like on like just like a regular day, it's like, what I need something, I guess, that like makes me want to get up. And it sucks because I figured out a fucking cheat code to turn off my alarm without having to do the squads. You thought it feels good. That's always good. I should just like sleep in there one day. I'm pretty sure I haven't washed the sheets in there in like many months. It's been a long time since I've washed the sheets in there because no one's been over here in a while. It's been a while since we've had Prac, Fig, and company over. It's been a long while at this point. Yeah, same. My phone's been showing me random memories lately. It was telling me, my phone was saying like 6 years ago in Dallas, and I'm like, I was not in Dallas 6 years ago. I was like, what? Like 2018. It's like I would have been to Minneapolis, and I was like, what? So I don't know what that's about. I have like no idea what that part's about. We went exclusive bouldering. Exclusive bouldering was good. You know what's good though? Like, you know, as we all know, but like, I have up there the pull-up bar. The pull-up bar has been good. My like substitute for have not gone bouldering in many months. David. It's been so long since I've been bouldering though, actually. It's been so long, unfortunately. Start climbing my house? For real though. Yo, doll. It's good, man. It's good, bro. So yeah, that'd be good to go bouldering again someday. Shit just goes hard, honestly. You home dull right now? Dude, it's so warm in here right now. I have my fan on maximum overdrive and I have the window cracked open a little bit. But I'm just warm. I just feel warm. Might include some like little bits of like gray. Or maybe white. Maybe some white actually. Let's see the vibe. These clouds, the way he did these clouds in the original, they're so like mystical. They feel so like magical, almost. They're very like swirly. Hey Prac. Yeah, we're streaming very early today, as you can see. Also saw your tragic tweet earlier, Prac, of seeing Final Fantasy spoilers. I hope you were able to immediately get blackout drunk and forget all of that. In a Twitch ad? Really? That's crazy. That is absurd. That's like, I remember we've mentioned how like in the Wind Waker, like when you're on the title screen, it has that little like demo that plays. How we've been like, damn, they show pretty deep into the game. Like it shows you like with like the Master Sword and shit in the Master Sword chamber. It's like, damn, they show far into the game on this little demo screen. That's crazy though, a Twitch ad. I would have never expected a Twitch ad to have such a thing going on. Oh yeah, because like they have like Link like fighting the Dark Nuts, but it's like, yep, you already have Master Sword, even though you're not supposed to have Master Sword at this point. How odd. I'm pretty sure it's like in the Paper Mario demo screen. There's like, I think it's like when it shows Koopa Bros Fortress. I'm pretty sure like, I think in the demo like Mario, like you already have like Paracarry, and it's like, no, that's not how it's supposed to work, at least. I think that's what it was. There was definitely a song there. It's like, yeah, that's not how it's supposed to work. There's one less than 30 minutes from you, or about 30 minutes from you. Damn. Sounds like you have no reason not to start going then. God, be nice to have a Korean barbecue, or not Korean barbecue, an Airbnb that I could live at. That was just where we all live, except it isn't an Airbnb, and it's just the Speed Friend mansion. What if we get an Airbnb, right? And then we just like take over, right? And we just like don't leave. What are they gonna do about it? What do you think they would do? Just like, just get some really hype house, but like, damn. Alright, this is mine. I made this. I'm sure there would be no consequences or anything. I don't think, at least. I kind of fucked up that sentence really hard, and I was like, alright, we're just gonna go with it and see what we can make happen with this sentence, honestly. Okay, so let's get the trees going. Daphne. Do you know last night I started kind of working on an animated emote, a new one. We got 3 frames sketched. So that's the thing. We'll see if I feel like working on it again today at any point. But I randomly got the vibe to work on it, so that was cool. Monday kind of booty today. It really is, though. Yeah. I swear, though, I feel like whenever it's, like, really, like, just, like, stormy or cloudy, I feel like that just, like, it just, like, sets the vibe of, like, damn, I don't want to do anything today. I just want to, like, not exist. Yo, Zet. This is the coolest thing on Twitch right now. You know, I'm probably the only Mario Paint streamer currently. If I had to assume or take a guess, I would take a guess at least and say I'm probably the only Mario Paint streamer right now. But Mario Paint is pretty cool. Also, my tree line's a little bit high up, but that's fine, honestly. That is a-okay. Once again, doesn't have to be a one-to-one replica, right? Just gotta make it, just gotta like go with the vibe, you know? Okay, let's get this little waterfall going. Today I'm actually referencing like my OBS preview with the sideways game feed, because usually I don't look at it too much. I still am primarily looking at the TV where it's just I'm looking at the screen, but it's normal, I guess. So that's a thing. I might just do like a quick little like, you know, like get some lines going. Just, you know, yeah, we'll cover this up. We'll cover that up later, but it's fine. Just to like block in. Yeah, well, the water is gonna go like off screen a little bit here. And then boom. Well, yeah, this come up like there more. This part's a little awkward. Coincidence? Nope. For Mario Paint, I've only been doing these Bob Ross recreations. I've never done anything else currently. Maybe at some point in time I'll maybe see if I feel like trying something else. But for now, this is all I've been doing. But I do create other arts that isn't just this. I wonder how that would go, trying to draw things that aren't just scenery shots in Mario Paint. That's something I've like thought about. Imagine that. Hey guys, I'm doing Mario Paint commissions. Imagine that. That would be something. Let's see, this is brown. See, this is a color palette moment where I don't really have, like, I could always try like going into like one of these maybe, but I don't usually go into these too often. Sometimes I do, but not all the time. It's just like, I guess, easier just to stick with the base colors. It's like I could like use this, which honestly might be useful in this piece. So I low-key, are these like, okay. I don't know, we could try that a bit, honestly. See what kind of sauce we can get going. Because it might be useful for this one. I guess on a technicality, you could just make this like with the default tools, but it would be a pretty big pain in the ass to try and do, honestly. Let's see, what does this give? Oh, that's just brown basically. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, these ones they're interesting to say the least. At least we can kind of like mess around over here. We have a little bit of space going around to just, you know, try stuff and see if something works. And if it doesn't, well, that's okay. But maybe I should use these more, maybe. We'll see. What, the Mario brush? Like this one? Oh, I can just undo that one. I like the sound the Mario brush makes. That one's a good brush sound that they did. I still might, oh wait, I want the regular black. Get some more like, get some more black parts going on this. Damn, like this part, like the brown, like that dark brown palette I used over here on my TV, it's way more brown looking than it is on OBS. Like on OBS, it's like way more pale, but on my TV, it's like a very warm brown. I guess such is the way of capture cards, not picking up everything like one-to-one. And it could also be actually a factor of the whole, like, I know some people in here are aware, probably, hopefully, of the like CRT Pixels Twitter account, where it shows like, oh hey, this is how like this particular like sprite or frame from the game looks on a CRT versus how like the raw like digital image looks without like the CRT effect aiding it at all. And so that could be a factor here too, where it's like, oh, this is like the raw digital display, so you're not getting like, I guess, the intended effect of how it should be looking, which is fine. It's okay. Morning, Owl. How's it going? Yeah, we're gonna want to curve this out a bit more when we get to that. Yeah, let's... leave a little bit of like brown patches in there. And anything we don't like, we can just cover up with the water when we do that later, which is fine. Readjusting the East Coast time again feels good. I feel like I've never truly been jet lagged. I've never had that experience, like, damn, I'm so jet lagged right now, man. Never had that vibe. Which I guess I'm not missing out, I guess, honestly. I'm not really particularly wanting that vibe. Okay, we want to actually, before we do that, whatever, that's fine. I want to put like a little bit of like, Oh yeah, yeah, I can imagine like something like that is pretty crazy. I mean, I do know when I got back from AGDQ how I didn't sleep for like a million years and I was just so fucking tired. Like, that shit was terrible. How dead I was feeling. But it was okay. Yo, Gabe, what's good? What's good? I might use this green, honestly, for this, because we're going to put some highlights on it anyways, just make it stand out a bit. Because otherwise it'll just blend into the background, which we don't really want. We're going to put yellow on it. So we're kind of chilling. It's looks okay. Looks fine. Making improvements towards your portfolio. Damn, girl. Okay. That's huge. It couldn't be me. That's for sure. That's what you like to see, though. Photography section, that is something I will never have in mind. I could only assume. But I wouldn't see myself ever having a photography section. Cause, yeah. Man. Alright, let's see. How do I want to go about doing this? Get some blue going. I just like kind of like do like a little something like this, you know? At least up here for like the back parts. I think I did want to like extend this a bit more, I think, on the left. So we'll come back in with the white later and do a little bit of stuff. And it's really awkward making these curves when like I'm drawing at an angle like this. But also just drawing these curves in Mario Paint is just really awkward. Definitely a weird thing. I wish sometimes I had like a better desk setup for this, because sometimes like the way I sit, my like elbow is like just not like resting on the desk, which makes it like a little bit more awkward. I still feel like water is like really awkward to do in Mario Paint. It's just like hard to like get right. I don't know, it's just really weird. The benefits of using actual materials versus Mario Paint, right? You know, there are like those big artists out there online that make like stuff using Microsoft Paint, and like, do they do it solely for like the challenge prospect of it, or like just why? Like, why do they do that? I wonder. What's the drive for that? Like, is it a challenge thing? Is it their primary, like, yep, I make everything in Microsoft Paint? I guess it's free, and it probably doesn't use up much resources, so that's pretty cool in that aspect. Which makes you wonder why, though. Like, if it's something like this, you know, where it's like, this is purely just for like the challenge aspect of like, all right, can I do all these different paintings in Mario Paint? And it's also like just something unique and different. Not everyone will be able to say, hey, I've done every Bob Ross painting in Mario Paint. Not everyone will be able to say that now, will they? There was a project we had in one of my college courses where we had to, I think we had to spell like a few words using like various materials, and I think like it was like 3 of them we had to do like purely physical, like form, like no editing or whatever, and then like the other 3 we were allowed to use like Photoshop, whatever, to like aid us and like, you know, make it easier. And low key for one of my physical ones, I actually did use Photoshop just because it was such a pain in the ass to try and do. I was like, nah, I'm gonna just edit this in Photoshop anyways, just because it's just annoying. And I guess I did a good job because I didn't get caught, so lol. Because I remember I was using like pieces of like a blanket, and I think cutting it was just so annoying. So I was like, fuck this, I'm just gonna cut it with, I'm just gonna edit this in Photoshop slightly. I don't remember what else I used. Like, I remember I used to get some old blanket I had. I don't remember what the fuck else I used. I think I used like, it was like something powdery. Like, I don't know if it was like salt or like pepper or something. Like, I like just put like whatever it was like on like a plate or desk or whatever, and just like formed it to be the word. I don't remember what it was though. It was something powdery, so probably like salt or a spice or something. Because salt isn't a spice, I guess. This just in, salt is not a spice. World, you know that, I don't follow it, but y'all seen like that Twitter account where it's like world updates or whatever? It's like that, world update, salt no longer a spice. Earth patch notes or something like that is what it might be called. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. But if you're aware of the Twitter account, you're a knower, so you know what I mean. You know, I think we need to do song 2, I think. We need song 2, I think, today. Also, last night Al Prack played Lethal Company with us. And only immediately on the first moon did Kendall and Anna kill him. So that was good. You made a self-portrait of magazine shreddings? Damn. I assume it's like, oh, I need to find like a piece that's like this color or something, or like this tone or something. X brightness. That must have been a huge pain in the ass to deal with, I bet. Sounds cool. I've never tried something like that. I remember like one of my college projects was to make we had to make like a vector self-portrait, which that turned out pretty okay. And I remember like we had to also include a object that had some kind of like meaning to us or whatever. And I included my N64 controller, my ice blue N64 controller. And I remember I made that controller so fucking detailed. It was so detailed for like no reason. Like you would have had to zoom in so far to see any of the detail on it. God. I haven't used Vector in so long. I don't know. I used it like a few times out of college. I actually used to do like emotes. I used to make them in Illustrator, and then I kind of like moved on from that. I was definitely pretty good at Vector, but I just kind of like stopped using it. Like I haven't really touched it in years, so that's the thing. Maybe at some point I'll do Vector stuff again, maybe. But it's been a long time. You know, I still remember, shoutouts to in my college classes, they had us do this one program, because, you know, we did like Illustrator for all of our vector stuff, and there was one singular project where they had us do it in this different program called Corel Draw or Corel Paint. I think it was Corel Draw, and it was basically just a different vector program. And I think the main advantage of it is that it had an unlimited canvas size, I think, which allegedly Illustrator had a limited canvas size, which I guess they told us was useful for like making billboards, apparently. I think was like a usage like that program had. But we also, you know, because this program is really cool, like the college course was really neat, and we had to have a fucking overpriced MacBook Pro for it. Fuck that, by the way. It was a Windows only program, so we had to install this program Parallels so we could dual boot Windows onto our MacBook. And so we had to, you know, like set all that shit up. And, you know, after, you know, blah, 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 this is important for you to learn, blah, 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 blah. My friend who was in the same program, just a year behind, he told me that when they got there, they didn't even make them set up all that shit. They just did it in Illustrator. I'm like, bruh. Okay, so literally a year later, oops, this thing that is super important, yeah, it's not important anymore, fun fact. Like, okay. That's neat. But yeah. Not the worst thing ever, but it's just the fact that like they had us learn like a whole new program just the next year to be like, nope, JK, lol, like this isn't relevant anymore. It's like, okay, that's cool. And I can definitely say we only used that program for that one singular project and never touched it ever again. So that was definitely a thing that I experienced myself. Yeah, shoutouts to me, just like basically, I just like at a certain point just stopped using my MacBook for school projects because it was just worse than using my desktop computer, and I could like literally do anything I could do on my MacBook just easier on my desktop computer because it just ran everything better and was faster, and it was just easier to work at my desk opposed to like using my MacBook. Which I don't know if it was just the model of MacBook I had. I have a it was like a late 2017 MacBook Pro, I think is what it is. And I remember that MacBook, if you like were using it, you know, on your legs, on your lap, as a laptop is, I guess, intended to be used, that shit got so fucking hot. I could not believe how hot that computer would get. It was absurd how hot it would get. I was like, oh my god, why is this getting so hot? It was insane. Like, I remember sometimes, like, if I was, like, trying to use it on my lap, I would have to put, like, a towel, like, over me or something to, like, not burn. Because it would get that hot. I'm like, oh my god. Like, come on, bruh. So that was also a really cool thing about it. I don't know, if I could go back and like not have to buy that MacBook, like if I could change the timeline, I would totally just unbuy that MacBook because that shit was $2,600 and that thing is worse than my like 2015 desktop computer I built. I feel like the only actual like worth Apple product are iPads, because everyone who has iPads, they always say that they're actually really good and they're not like stupidly expensive. Like iPhones are like hella expensive. MacBooks, last I checked, are hella expensive. Like, I definitely hear of a lot of people like that just like do like art outright on like their like with Procreate, I think, on like their iPads, which that's cool. But yeah, I don't know. The MacBook Pro that I have though, it feels, it's just like so unworth it. You know, the even bigger fuck you about the whole, because like when we started our program, I don't think they made us get one immediately. Well, I think you were supposed to have it when the semester started, but I remember in my college program, they were like, "Yep, you need to have a MacBook Pro. You have to get a MacBook Pro. It's just part of like the requirements to be in this course." And let's use this brown. Just make it pop a bit more. And I remember in one of my final classes, like my final semester, one of our teachers, he was just using a Windows laptop. It's like, oh, okay. So it's just a blanket rule then, you know, like just for the students, you know. I'm pretty sure like the reasoning they told us why we had to have a MacBook Pro was because they were like, oh, if you have a like not a MacBook Pro, if you need help with your computer, we might not be able to help you. It's like, bruh, like, are people entering this course who literally like are technological, like illiterate? Like, are these kind of people that have like signed up for these courses in the past or something? I will give my program credit though, is like that there were good things. Like I thought it was pretty neat how like the program was like pretty like beginner friendly. Like if you didn't know how to use Photoshop and all that shit, like you could definitely just go into that program. Like if you were wanting to learn it, you could totally just learn it from that program alone. You didn't have to have prior knowledge, which was cool. But it also meant that the first like semester was pretty filler for me. Like a lot of it was just like, because I was pretty good with Photoshop, like I already knew how to just use the program, which if you've never used Photoshop, that program makes no sense what to do if you've never used it before. It's so like unintuitive to figure out how to do anything in that program. Just if you're just like some random person like, yo, I want to use Photoshop for stuff. It's so impossible to figure out. Like, you need someone to teach you, whether it be like YouTube or like a class or something. You have to, like, there's no way you could learn that on your own. I'd be so surprised. So they were, you know, like teaching Photoshop turbo basics for like the first semester, which was, they'd be like, yep, I know how to do that. I guess I'll kind of pay attention and just kind of do my own thing or whatever. So that was the thing. But you know, I wasn't upset at that or anything. I wasn't like, oh, this is so fucking dumb, man. Like, it's definitely good. I guess it was tragic, like I wasn't like actively learning new things at that point, but you know, whatever, right? I don't even know how I got talking about my college program. You know, it's kind of fucked up to think about that I've almost graduated my college program 4 years ago. That's fucked up to think about. It does not feel like it's been 4 years basically since I finished. It's actually more fucked up to think about how long it's been since I started the program. That's a more fucked up thing to think about. The fact that I started in January 2018. The fact that it's been like 6 years and like two months since I started my program. Like that's a fucked up thing. That doesn't make any sense to me, how it's been that long. Makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah, before the world imploded, that's what I'd say. I usually say before the world exploded. I remember hearing like allegedly, like on like YouTube videos and such, if you said the C word for that particular virus, allegedly your video like I don't know, like flagged or something, or like, oh, it won't show up like in the algorithm or whatever garbage. $2019, yeah. So it definitely sucks ass that one of my final program thingies got all broken and messed up, and I clicked the wrong color there. I was like, why is this like not showing up? And one of my final like assignments that was supposed to be a big like job like hunt thingy, like a big job fair that was gonna like just happen at our school, just didn't happen because of that cool thing happening. Yeah, it makes sense that you had a similar experience, Arma, with your audio program at the start. So how did it make you feel, Arma, when you saw the most recent drawing challenge that I did? How did that make you feel? That was definitely a thing. I was like, damn. I was like, damn, fuck it, we'll do this for the funnies. I went kind of hard though with like the inking on that, not gonna lie. I was like, damn, okay. Really like the colors. The colors. Black. White. It was the post-grad job hunt applying for me that was at the time. Yeah. Yeah, that part is definitely... Yep. It was like how... Yep. Same with me, like, oh yeah, we, you know, finished college. Oops. The world doesn't exist for the next, like, 2.5 years, basically. Yep, fuck everything that you wanted to do, basically. What word do you use? You could say, like, oh... You like the shading, or like the pen work, the values. That was all. Yeah. I guess for any unawares. Don't worry, I got you, baby. Any unawares, that thing? That was the thing I saw going around, and I was like, alright, let's do this for fun. I actually finished it like probably like 4 or 5 days before I posted it. I just like didn't post it anywhere for like 5 days or something. Oh yeah, I did mention that to you briefly, yeah, that there was another like, meme drawing I was doing. A trend drawing that was going around. Yeah, I thought it was a funny idea. I was like, alright. Yeah, that was all, like, the entire thing was done. Okay, that's actually a lie. Everything other than the background is done with just the real G pen, the realistic G pen. But like the background, like those like vertical like lines, that was using this brush pen, which I'm pretty sure is a default brush also. I thought just using like a brush like that would be pretty good, just to get like a little bit of different effect going. I think I was inspired by like the panel in the DBZ manga for when you first see Super Saiyan 2, which is like what the current Twitter profile picture I'm using, how I made that drawing. I think like how like he like did the inking on like the gi. I was like, damn, that goes really hard actually. So I think that was like kind of like a vibe I was going for. With when I was doing that dress, I was like, you know, let's do something like saucy. I accidentally went pretty hard with the inking, with the digital inking on that. That's definitely something that I appreciate. It's like, damn, they just like did this all with like a pen or something. I don't know. It's just good. He's slaying. Yeah. He's not, I don't think he was a fan of it though. The laced back. Low-key drawing, like I don't know, it's hard to see probably, potentially, in the just the image on there versus like the raw quality, but like there's just like a bunch of like chain links all around it, and I was like, yes, honey, let me just draw all these by hand real quick, just drawing a bunch of tiny little circles. Yeah, I don't know. Love me some good, just like some good, just black and white drawings. Really just hits good sometimes. But fundamentally, it definitely helps when you can just like draw something and it's like, yep, this looks good, and like it's just all like in black and white or whatever. Like that definitely goes a long way. I'm pretty sure you said, Owl, that you read Beastars, like you didn't like watch, or well, regardless if you watched the anime or not, I'm pretty sure you said you read the manga. Like I remember like in the manga, that manga had a lot of really good looking panels. I was like, damn. Damn, she just really good. Holy shit. She had a really good way of conveying, in a still panel, she had a really good sense of motion. Only watched the first season of the anime. Wait, so you didn't? I thought you read the manga. I thought you said you did at least. But maybe not. Maybe I can gaslight you into thinking you read the manga. Question mark? Oh yeah, I actually have read it, Smile. Yeah, no, but the drawings in the manga, there's a lot of really good ones. She had some fire panels. There's definitely some that just like live rent-free in my head. It's like, damn. Damn, like you did a good job with this shit. The big line between the bubbles goes is crazy. Does it for you? Is that line? I need to find a font I like for like comic usage. I don't know, I've like downloaded some fonts, like I tried to download like some comic font, but I don't know, I didn't like it. Just didn't like the vibe. Just didn't feel right. That's definitely a thing, just getting like a font you like. Dude, the logo, like if you can see like on the preview, Bob Ross painting, like the faded credits text, it's kind of like messing me up a little bit. Because once again, like I had to get two screenshots for this example painting, because there's no just like full picture of like, yep, here's the whole painting. In the credits, it would be like, yep, here's the top half with no text. Boom, take a screenshot. But then it pans down to the bottom and there's text when it gets to the bottom half. And once the text starts to fade out, like as the text is fading, it starts to fade to black for the credits. So I had to like get a screenshot of like when the text started fading, but then before it started fading to black, which it's like, this is fine. I guess technically if I really, really wanted to, I could maybe get a screenshot of when it's like black-ish, but then there's no text, and like edit it, like with the edit the brightness and shit maybe to make it look normal, but it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter that much. Like, that could be a strat, but it's like, do I really want to do all that? Do I really feel like doing all that? Yeah, well, maybe one day, Owl, you'll read the manga. But that was the thing for me. I really liked her art in the manga. And the anime didn't have that for me. That was only one thing that was missing for me. Which is a little tragic, honestly. A little tragic, TBH. Maybe one day. I have not read anything in a while. AKA the only thing I've like been reading was the Dragon Ball Super manga. Because the anime of Dragon Ball Super ended in like 2018, but the manga's been going still. I don't know if the manga's been going consistently since then, or like after, like I don't know if it's been going ever since the anime ended, but the manga of Dragon Ball Super is currently existing. So that's a thing. Yeah, shoutouts to Jack and the homie. Daphne, what? All the anime what? Yeah, what the primary friends do, for real though. Yeah. It is hard just to sit down and be like, yep, I'm gonna start like watching a whole anime or whatever. But sometimes it's a vibe. Sometimes I'm just like, I just want to like be doing something over like watching something. Yeah, it's hard for me just to sit there and have it in the background. I can't really do that either myself. I was also thinking earlier, Arma, when's documentary? We still haven't done that, and it's been like multiple weeks. Someday. I'm still down whenever. No, not Superman 64. If you're familiar with the song "We Are the World," there's like this Netflix, like I guess documentary kind of thingy that got released like a month ago at this point, probably. That was like, I think it's about like how that song, I guess, almost didn't happen, or like how just them trying to like, I guess, make it all work, because they got like 30 or something like singers from back then to like work on this thing, and like they all had to like like be there. Like they did it like in like 2 nights or something, I think. And it's like, oh yeah, people just don't have like cell phones on them back in that day. So I guess just talks about that whole situation being like probably a huge fucking disaster, which I could only assume would be the case. Yo, Ebo. Ebo came in. Ebo typed that and immediately said ad break. Like, literally, like, probably 3 frames after Ebo typed woo in chat, it said an ad break was playing for me. It's still saying an ad break is playing for me, but the ad break in progress thing doesn't mean a damn thing, apparently, because an ad breaks just play whenever they feel like it, apparently. How's the primary friend today, Cloud? But yeah, so Arma and I have been like trying to watch it for like a month almost now, it feels like, and we just like haven't watched it. Well, because the first thing was it's on Netflix, so we're like, all right, does anybody have a Netflix account? And then it's like, we ended up getting to the point where Arma was like, oh shit, we actually do have a Netflix account. And then here we are. No Ebos, hey Jess. Hello, Mr. 100%. So yeah, we're here finally. What are you up to, Jess? I don't know. The best anime you ever watched? Ebo, you haven't even finished Yu Yu yet. You need to finish Yu Yu still. Yo, what was I watching? I was watching some video the other day, and they were talking about how... Oh yeah, I think it was a video talking about like why some people really like the visual aesthetic of like 90s, 80s anime, just I guess aka more so traditional animated anime. And they were like talking about Yu Yu at a point specifically where they were like, would I still love Yu Yu Hakusho if it came out today? Like, would it be my favorite anime still? And I was like, well, I didn't watch it like growing up or anything. I watched it like a couple of years ago, and I was like, damn, that's a damn good show that I just watched. But nah, it's good for a reason, not just nostalgia. Freyren or Freeren. I've never heard of that before. Doing MM practice? Oh shit. You practicing that like angle perfect Deku hop in first cycle to skip using the flower in pre-clock town? That Pope does. I don't know, anybody here an enjoyer of traditional animated content? There's definitely a certain vibe that just comes along with it. Yeah, I think it's interesting in that video. Like this guy was talking about how it's like, oh yeah, like, you know, when they used to animate everything on paper, and now when they use computers for everything, even though that's, yes, they use computers for like the, you know, the finished frames that you see in the anime, but a lot of like the like production drawings are still done like on paper. I think some animators do those drawings on like a tablet or like on the computer or whatever, but I definitely know like a lot of it's still like there's definitely still a chunk that's hand drawn. Yeah, with like hand painted animation cells, so aka like older anime usually. I actually don't know. Is stuff like modern modern Ghibli films, are those traditionally animated still, or did they eventually switch to digital? Because I don't know if I've seen like a modern Ghibli film, so I don't know if those are traditional or digital. Are they still? There's definitely something that just goes hard with traditional animation. But those are whole thing, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I haven't. I guess like what's like the last? I don't know. Like I've seen like Howl's Moving Castle, Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, and Porco Rosso. I think those are the only Ghibli films I've seen. And I'm pretty sure all those are not like are definitely not like super new or anything to my understanding. I'm pretty sure Porco Rosso is actually a pretty old one, actually. If I remember correctly, I think that one's pretty old. Princess Mononoke is my favorite one. Princess Mononoke definitely has that whole thing where it's like, damn, this has some crazy shit going on. Oh, also it's weird as shit. Like, what the fuck is happening in this movie? They all have that, like, just really weird, like, they have that just weird vibe to them. That's just like a Ghibli, like, staple, though, I feel like. Princess Mononoke was the first Ghibli film I saw. Yeah, cool. Okay. I think you only see that guy at the start, I think? Question mark. But I remember, so like after like Yu Yu Hakusho like finished, and by after I mean like a million years later, because the anime was made in the 90s, right? And there was like, I think 2 or like 1, like it was like a 2018 like special, like just some like, special episode that they made, and they did a good job of keeping like the art style, like keeping the vibe of like how the show looked originally, but it was digitally animated. So like, I don't know, there was just like something, there was just like a little, I don't know, piece of it that was missing that came with the whole traditional animated aspect of it. I know one thing in that video, the person mentions how it's like, oh, like some things in digital animation where it's like, oh, like everything ends up being like perfectly clean or whatever. Which I think I get what they mean, where it's like, oh, like all the lines in some anime, it's like, oh, they're all just like, you know, perfect thin lines with no like variation or any kind of anything to like break it up and give it a little bit of interest. That's something interesting to see in some, like you can definitely see in like Dragon Ball, for example, where it's like, oh, like the lines here, there's like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's almost like as if like parts of it are like missing in a sense. I don't know how else to describe it. Let me just like implant what I'm thinking in my head and just give it to all you guys that are listening, and then you'll understand what I'm trying to say, because I didn't do a good job of explaining what the fuck I'm talking about at all in that instance. Having a little bit of grit. That could be a way of describing it. Having some grit to it. Oh, I get it now. But an also interesting thing, so like, you know how with the whole like viewing like the SNES game capture, or just like any like older like game display, like SNES, N64, etc., viewing it like the raw pixels, like on a capture card, for example, versus on this CRT, where the CRT kind of like blends some things, versus like, oh, on like the raw pixels, you don't get that blending effect, so there's like some effect that's lost. It's kind of like how with like traditional animation, like with the like when like a cell or a frame, when it's like painted, the shading, for example, like where it's like, oh, like, you know, here's like the main tone of the character, and here's like some shadow, like like the line between the shadow and like the main tone, it'll be like blurred, like blended a little bit because it's like actual paint, versus like in some modern shows, like at the start of Dragon Ball Super, for example, where it's like, oh, it's just like a hard line. There's no like blending or anything. And I guess like that like little bit of blending effect, it kind of like, I don't know, it just makes it feel better. Cause later on, towards the end of Super, they like, I guess they did some like post filtering or whatever they did, but they did some sort of thing that like puts in a little bit of like blending to like the shading, and it just hits better, even in scenes where it's not necessarily like a super amazing drawing, because that's definitely the thing with Super's animation, where it's like, oh, it has bad animation, which the start generally does have garbage animation. There's no getting around that. But I think it's why in like Z, there's definitely parts where it's like, oh, that's not a very good drawing. But it's like, I guess like the art style and the aspects of traditional animation, at least for me, make those frames just feel better than how the bad frames in Super are. It's just like, yep, this just hits weird. There's just something missing about it. I guess maybe as like an audio translation, maybe it could be like, oh, if like somebody was playing like a guitar or something, and like every single note was like perfectly clean, like as if it came from like an audio like generator program or something, versus like how like when someone's like playing a guitar, you kind of get like, I guess their like style of like, oh, like you can feel them like sliding their fingers around and all that. A little bit of like imperfections or just like that person's flair. I mean, obviously, an instrument played by an actual person is gonna have some flair to it, versus like, oh, here's like a program that you can just generate the sounds from or whatever. Yeah, it's like in like a live performance how sometimes like, oh, like the singer, they'll like, you know, like pull the microphone away or something. I think that like that can hit pretty good. Damn, it's Mr. Korea. Mr. 8 a.m. for you, I think? What's good? Yeah, exactly, Owl. The flaws of human nature can add to the charm. I agree. That's basically what I've been talking about for the last like what feels like 20 minutes. 9 a.m. Oh, so it's 13 hours. I thought it was 12. is this the first Mario Paint stream you've seen? Yeah, I wasn't even gonna do this today, but here we are, and I'm doing it today. Daylight savings. Thank fuck we got daylight savings around here. It felt so good when it's like, oh shit, it's 7 o'clock and it's like only like a little bit dark now. That hits so good. Love that shit. Well, what are we doing at 9 a.m.? Just vibing. Ah. Of course, of course. It's good, Skittle. Damn, did you search up a random Dragon Ball wiki? You know, isn't it a thing on some wiki pages where there'll be like a random button at the top or something? Did you go like Dragon Ball wiki and hit like the random button? In the late 1800s? Dude, honestly... Yeah, you're right. That's a definite... That... Perfect. Yeah, it is funny how Burger is actually butter. Daylight savings doesn't exist in Korea. Honestly, like, the clocks should just stay how they are right now. Like, the clocks just being ahead is just objectively better. It's just better in every way. Like, I never understand the concept of like, oops, it's winter and there's less sunlight. Let's turn the clocks back so it gets darker even earlier. Really cool, by the way. Love that. Love this. Oh, you know what I saw? I guess like Skittle and Arma, because I know y'all have seen Odd Taxi as we've watched it together. How there's some like live action like Odd Taxi thing I saw that's being made or exists. I don't know if it's out, but I was like, oh. Because it was on Crunchyroll's like YouTube. And I was like, huh? Oh my god, I'm gonna shut up. God, don't we love autoplay? I should have muted the tab, honestly. But yeah, it was this. Cause I saw that on like my homepage. I was like, is this actually like the same thing? For anyone who hasn't seen the anime of Odd Taxi, I would definitely recommend watching it. Cause that was a good anime. Good 13 episode anime where you also actually have to pay attention to what's going on. So like, that's a show. It is not available here, really. Maybe you gotta go on Crunchyroll Korea or something. VPN, honestly fair. I've never used a VPN, actually. I guess I've never had a reason to use a VPN, though. You know, ever since I started using Brave, I saw like Brave has like a built-in VPN, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, once again, what am I gonna use it for? Around here, at least. Actually, you know what was fucked up? Actually, a thing I could have used a VPN for when I was in America, back in like November. I remember like I got an email from Osmos, shout out to Osmos, and I remember it was like fill out this survey, and I forget if you would just get like a gift card or something, or if it was like a chance to win a gift card, but I was like gonna do it, but the web page just didn't exist because you had to go to the Osmos website, or like you would click a link and it would take you to the Osmos website. But I remember Osmos has an American website, even though there's like 2 Osmos or 1 Osmos in America. So when I would click on the link, it would redirect me to the American Osmos site, and that webpage didn't exist on the American Osmos site. So I couldn't do the survey or whatever to get like the free like gift card or whatever it was. And it was like only available like coincidentally like the whole time while I was in America. So I was like, bruh. So I guess that was a time I could have just used a VPN, I think, but like, I don't know. But also like, what the fuck, man? Like, come on, dog. Why is it made like this? Because even if, I remember I went to the, oh, like, what region are you trying to go to? And like, I said to Canada, and then click on the link, and it still just wouldn't work. Like, I know sometimes people would send like a GameStop link or a Best Buy link, and it's an American, like the American site, and I click on it, and it takes me to the Canadian site, and it's like, oh, here's a link to the specific product. But then I click on the link, and it just takes me to like Best Buy's homepage instead of actually taking me to the product. So it's like, oh, if I set I'm going to the American site first, and then click on the link, it'll then take me to the product. But it's just like, fuck, come on, man. Ugh. Buh. Just huge fuck, honestly. Yeah, Justin, how was your stream? Oh, you're still streaming. I just assumed you went offline. But, you know, there's some websites where when you click on the, like on a link from like the American site, it'll still take you if that product exists on like the Canadian or whatever other region. If it exists, it'll take you to that product and switch it to the Canadian version, which is cool. So tired, can't type. Yeah. God, I haven't like watched a stream like while in bed in like a million years. I guess because usually I don't use Twitch on my phone very often, and otherwise I just don't use the app much on my phone. Pretty rare, honestly, I use the Twitch app on my phone. The good news is we got a little bit of snow today, and by good news I mean not very hype news, but it wasn't a lot of snow, so that's good news actually. How long? Probably not very long. I probably wasn't gonna do anything else other than this today. Or tomorrow, I think we're doing a rando, I think, so that's a thing. God. There's water down here, it's just a mess. Honestly. It's hard painting sideways, though. Keep streaming till 1. Yeah, not today. Not today. Yeah, pulls it out, like, alright, let's do a quick 100% run. You know, I haven't done a 100% run in since whenever I got my last PB, I think. It's been a while. Look at wins. Damn. Where's the primary friend emote at? Alright, do we just call this done? What do we think? So I might play a little bit of like this back here. Damn. This side, you know, I wasn't even gonna stream today. I originally was just gonna put it off till tomorrow, but I guess I'm glad I did it today. So that's good. I feel like I spent a long while not really painting much and just like talking for like a long while. So that's good, question mark? Maybe. Alright, I think I'm gonna call this one done here.